Sea serpent. Another ferocious creature thought to patrol the ocean is the sea serpent. Seafarers in the past told elaborate stories about its existence, which became folklore. The creature is a supposedly monstrous fish-snake hybrid, as you might have guessed from its name. The sea serpent, like the kraken, is real, even if its features and stories are greatly exaggerated. To begin with, the supposed sea serpent is an oarfish, which resembles a fish-snake hybrid. Their similarities, however, end there. The oarfish is much smaller, despite being quite long for a fish. It can grow to be up to 30 feet long, making it the world's longest bony fish. We know very little about the oarfish because it lives deep underwater. However, we know that it does not eat humans or fish, but rather small marine creatures, such as crustaceans and krill. It was discovered officially in 1772, centuries after the legend that inspired it first appeared. Subscribe for part 6.